Everybody, good evening. Happy New Year. Can you believe it? 2025. Unbelievable to me. Absolutely unbelievable. It is another Friday, and we're just going to hang out tonight. We're just going to be hanging out. There is some things, of course, I want to talk about because we did a little bit of coverage during the break time and then kind of into today. TP-Link was a big one. And before I say hello to everyone, I just want to apologize, I guess. I mean, it's not my fault, but still, on this channel, I've done a lot of videos speaking about TP-Link. Not necessarily like they're the cat's meow, but they kind of were, right? The price of the TP-Link routers and switches were always considerably less than the competition, but still considerably good, right? So I've always recommended them. Well, I did a couple of videos about the TP-Link ban that's supposedly be happening this year. Could be in a week, could be in less, but supposedly they might ban TP-Link in the U.S. because TP-Link is a Chinese-based company. And what's kind of scary is that just like every other Chinese-based company, they are controlled by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party, and it's a problem. Because according to their rules and regulations, they have to uphold certain laws. And I'll probably get into some of those. I have them written down from the last video. But once again, I kind of want to apologize for, recommending them, which is really not my fault, but still. And there's a bunch of other ones that I'm going to probably review and recover as alternatives to TP-Link product. Now, hopefully, they find that there's nothing wrong with them, right? But if not, once again, we're going to have to move to something else. So anyways, that's kind of like the down news as of right now. Of course, today I did a really long video, it was probably like 35 minutes long, about using your app, your Starlink app. And I went through all of these like little areas and what to do, what not to do and stuff. And I had a lot of fun doing it. It took a long time. So there's a bunch of people that enjoyed it and they got some tips and tricks out of it. So definitely take a look at it if you didn't look at it yet. Anyways, let's get into who's here. Who is here as of this evening? There's a bunch of people already in here. Let's see. Ricky Joe. How you doing, Ricky Joe? Thank you for being here. David is here. Butch is here. Rod, thank you. Honey Badger is here. Thank you for being here. Hector, Fragile 1976. Peter Gosling, thank you so much, Peter, for being here as always. Kevin P. We have Sky Beetle. Sky Beetle? Yeah, Sky Beetle, 1965. I like it. Who else? Let's see. John Wolf is here. How you doing, John? Low Tech Greg has made it. Appreciate you. Let me see. Phil's Camping Reviews. How you doing? Let's see. Colonel, I guess it could be Ties. Maybe. Colonel Ties. Renee. How are you doing, Renee? Who else do we have here? Shannon is in the house. Thank you, Shannon. Welcome to the new year, Shannon. 2025. I can't even believe it. Oh, Shannon puts into the chat. We have a super chat from Shannon. The No Purple Hair, obviously, because Fabiola isn't here with the super chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, Fabiola is she's been working like all day, and she was just really tired, so I wasn't going to drag her in here. But she'll be here next week, because then I will drag her. But yeah, it's been a lot, right? We have family and everything going on. It was here, and we were traveling, and there was a lot going on this holiday season. Kevin, how you doing? Thank you for being here, Kevin. Black Hawk Network Speed Test. I like it. John Beam, thank you. Gala Girl's here. How you doing, Gala Girl? 2025, Gala Girl, 2025. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Once again, thanks a lot, Shannon. Really, really do appreciate you. Let's see. Who else do we have here? Nicholas. David is here. If you're new, just hanging out and been watching some of my videos, there's about 394 just on SpaceX Starlink now, another 1,100 plus on every other thing you can imagine. So the channel has got a ton of viewable content. So definitely take take a look at some of them, because there's some things that I've talked about in the past. I review myself and go figure out how to do something because I don't remember anymore, because I just do so many things. And then I go and watch myself to figure out how to do it. It's like, I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but I really do that. Because I try putting things like really like boiled down so that it's easy to understand, even for myself later on. I don't know. Maybe I'm talking to myself. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm talking to you. Let me see. Shannon, thank you so much for the gifted 10 memberships. If you are a recipient of those 10 memberships, thank you to Shannon. Say thanks. Let me see. Who is it? Lance got a free membership. Can do. Let's see. Felix Chow got a free membership. Marcus, I love it. It's Grumpa, I love it. Grumpa got a free membership. C. Daniel got a free membership. Cause if you got a free membership from Shannon, please thank him. It's awesome, absolutely awesome. Thanks a lot, Shannon. Really do appreciate you. Let me see here. Let me go up to the top, see if there's any questions. Do me a favor. Put a Q before your question, or at JCristina. It just makes me just so much easier just to hone in on it. I know it's the first, the first live for the new year. So, who knows? We might not have a ton of people today, but that's okay. We'll be intimate. We'll do the Free Speech Fridays. We always do. Talk about anything that you want to. And then we'll go over some other stuff that I talked about, like I said, during the week. Ricky Joe, thank you once again for being here. Once again, Q before your question, or at JCristina. It makes it much, much, much easier. Let's see. Moving down here, is there any questions? SpaceX just launched from Florida. Yes, they did. It was just live, matter of fact, on X. It's actually still live. It's going on right now. Let me see. Maybe I can make it full screen. Can I make it full screen? I probably can. Let's see. Does it work? Didn't work. Should work. Why doesn't it go full screen? Oh, here we go. Full screen. All right. Let's see if we can make it happen. All right. Let's try this one maybe? No? This one? No? How about this one? No. This one? I know one of them. I should be able to get the full screen. Here we go. Full screen. So, yeah. That right there is what they're currently broadcasting. They just we're on T plus 13 minutes or something, somewhere around there. Oh no, there's music. We got to shut that off quickly. So yeah, this is their live broadcast. It's T plus 13 minutes 54 seconds, and I'm not sure what they launched. What is this? Thursday 4. So this is a launch that just came out of Florida. We missed the launch. I guess it was happening just when we were going live. But it's there's a lot going on right now. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go and look at something here, because I noticed that they had it. I think it was SpaceX. Let me see. Yes, right here. Check this out. Let's watch this together. A matter of fact, I'll just put it kind of like in the background. I'm going to leave the music off because I have to. But check that out. Let's see. While you're doing that, I'm going to go and see if there's any other questions. Once again, put a Q before your question, or at JCristina. It helps out a lot. Let's see. Peter says, did you see that Starlink will put out dummy satellites in flight IFT-7? Peter, I did not hear that, I didn't hear that. I've kind of been behind a little bit. Like I said, the last week or so, I've been kind of with the family. But that would be awesome. That would be absolutely awesome. I would love to see that, because then we'll actually be able to see what's going on with that little Pez dispenser, as we call it, the Pez dispenser. Let me see if I can bring this over to like this. Will this work? Yeah, it kind of does. It's a little bit, we definitely don't want the audio. All right, let's go ahead and roll that. We can see it. That's big enough for right now. If not, I can't see you guys, right? You can't see me. But yeah, that'd be really crazy. I would like to see that. Because once again, then we'll see that Pez dispenser opening. They'll launch out those little dummies. I think it'd be awesome. I think that if you're going to launch out a dummy, just launch out one. Starlink version 3 satellite, right? If you're going to put a dummy out there, why not? What's the difference? If it blows up, does it really matter? Probably not. Probably not. But we'll see what happens. That would be really cool, Peter. Let's see. What else do we have here? Phil says, so I got myself a new hobby. Purchased 2 3D printers, currently building a replica of the Titanic. Are you kidding me? That is awesome. 130 centimeters long, almost complete. That is cool. That is really cool. A close friend of mine was, they kind of reached out over the holidays and we were talking back and forth. And he was saying how he does a lot of 3D printing. And I was telling him that I think this year I want to get into 3D printing and, you know, maybe pick up a bamboo or something and maybe an X1. I don't know. We'll do something. And then if possible, I would like to be able to 3D print stuff for you guys. You know, even if they're just trinkets or cup holders or just something interesting from the show. So I don't know. If you guys have any ideas before the end of the show, you let me know. But yeah, I would like to do that. I think it'd be kind of fun. I've been continuously speaking about doing 3D printing and I just don't do it because there's just only so much time. But I think this year is going to be the year I'm going to do some 3D printing. Let's see. Moving on. Blackhawk says, what does Blackhawk says? Says, as time goes on, my speeds are getting better and better. I got Starlink because I watching your video because I was watching your videos. It's been a life changer for me. I really appreciate that. I'm in the boondocks in southern Oklahoma. I love to hear stories like that I've actually got people to end up purchasing a SpaceX Starlink system, and they're enjoying it. You know, it's not like I'm recommending something that later on people are like, oh God, you know. But that's one of the reasons why I kind of feel just dirty with the whole TP-Link. You know, it's and the thing is too with TP-Link is that I've spoken to them on the phone on multiple occasions, and they were going to come on board as a sponsor. This was way back. This was like when I was doing the mesh network testing, and we really didn't mesh, right? Pardon the pun. We just didn't. It just didn't feel right. It didn't work, right? It just didn't work. Whereas some companies, you know, I speak to them and I'm like, okay, let's do it, right? Because and you know how it is with this channel, you don't see a lot of ads besides my own ads because I just don't like a lot of stuff or I don't trust a lot of stuff. And for me to recommend something, it's like I'm putting my soul into it. And then I recommend you something that's complete shit and then it makes me feel bad, right? So, but anyways, thank you for that. I really appreciate that. I'm glad that you're enjoying, this is to Blackhawk. I'm glad that you're enjoying the SpaceX Starlink and it's helping you out. There's a lot of folks out there that moved after my videos, my first video, especially at the beginning, from the HughesNet and the Viasat and all the rest of the garbage that were raping them for so many years. And, you know, I'm glad to have been of some service, so to speak. So anyways, let's see. Other questions. We have Honey Badger says, should we worry about China-made routers other than TP-Link? You know, honestly, I would have to say yes. Now, the reason I say yes is this. Here. This is from my other video, okay? So this way you get an understanding on why I'm saying what I'm saying. So the TP-Link, it says, as a company founded and primarily based in China, TP-Link, like other Chinese corporations, operate under legal framework of the PRC, which is the People's Republic of China, which includes laws and regulations that can mandate corporations with the Chinese government. Now, this is what's important here, including the CCP, which is the Chinese Communist Party. These are their legal obligations as national intelligence. Vague, but national intelligence law. It says, introduced in 2017, this law requires Chinese companies to assist and cooperate with state intelligence work. This has raised concerns globally about data privacy and security, especially for companies like TP-Link that deal with networking equipment. Makes sense. Cybersecurity laws. This law further compels companies to provide technical support to public security organs and state security organs for the protection of national security or investigation into criminal activities. What's criminal? And then data location. This is important too, or data localization. Chinese law also requires data to be stored in China, which can facilitate government access to the data basically at any time. So it ends kind of with the concerns of the U.S. and the same of my concerns. As the U.S. has expressed concerns over the security implications of using Chinese-made network equipment like TP-Link. There's a fear that devices like routers could be used for espionage and cyber attacks, either through built-in backdoors or being exploited after deployment. And that was my point of contention. It's not necessarily that they're going to put in a backdoor that you can easily find, all right, if you want to reverse engineer something, but just as simple as leaving something open so that it can then be exploited after the fact, like a certain port, for example. You leave that port open, boom, someone could tunnel into it. So I just don't know. All right, knowing how the Chinese government works and how the CCP works, the Chinese Communist Party, I mean, honestly, you just don't know. It's the same thing holds true with DJI, right? With the drones. That's why no U.S. companies or, the government can use DJI drones anymore. Why? Because, they're an arm of the Chinese Communist Party. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, right? Why would you do that? So for us, I can see something like a massive DOS, denial of service attack, perpetrated through TP-Link or through other Chinese routers. I could see stuff like that because it just wouldn't be easy. Just to commandeer, your TP-Link that's just sitting there and send out like little packets, that you don't even know about to make a massive flood. Basically what a DOS is, it's not, once again, far-fetched. So should you be concerned? I don't know. Like for me, like I said before, any video going forward in the links will have links to other alternatives to TP-Link. Now, if something just, let's say it all fleshes out and they're in the clear and it's not a problem, I still might not put them back in there. Because I know how this works now. I didn't do the research before. Bad on me. So I don't know. I might or I might not. I guess it really depends on what the government finds and do they ban them or do they not ban them? Do they do like they did with DJI and ban them only with military and government official, sites to not be able to use DJI drones? I don't know. So we'll see. Let's see. Other questions here. Once again, Q before your question or at JCristina. Either which way. Let's see. Shannon says, awesome, Phil. I got one a couple of months ago. I have no talent to design, but I love to print designs by others. Yeah, Shannon. I'm telling you, I'm excited. I am excited. Which one did you say you got, Shannon? Did you get that? What is it called? An X1 or whatever the top of the line is with the feeder and all the rest of the stuff. Which one of anyone? What are you guys using? If you do 3D printing, down below, let us know which one you're using. Let's see. Honey Badger, thanks for the question. I really appreciate that. Nicholas, question. Is TP-Link extender or a problem like the router? Should I look into another extender, basically, for the garage? So if you don't know what an extender is or a switch, so you have routers, right, for routing traffic. Then you have extenders, which basically extends a signal or amplifies a signal, propagates a signal, okay, for Wi-Fi. And then you have a switch, which is just simply a switch, and it doesn't do any kind of quote-unquote routing, right? It's a switch. Like a dumb switch. They have smart switches too. But so you have these three appliances. For me, if they're able to commandeer a router, they're going to be able to commandeer a switch. They're going to be able to commandeer any type of extender. because each one of them are running off DHCP, right? So they're getting their address from their local area network, right? So they're going to be able to have some means of getting onto the internet for the most part. So can they easily put a backdoor in an extender or into a switch? Absolutely. Will they do that? Probably not. Probably not. I wouldn't worry about it too much, but it is definitely something to consider for sure. Now that we know what we know. Let's see. Moving on. Thanks a lot for that question. Peter, thank you so much for sending me that link. Let me know, Peter. Do you need me to check it while we're on tonight? Is there something I need to pull for tonight? Let me know about that. Or is it just something for me to look at later? Let's see. Good question, Nicholas. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Tom, thank you for being here, Tom. From snowy Grand Canyon. Wow. Yeah. We don't have snow here, but we're in Florida. And supposedly for the entire week, we're going to be in our lows of 40s. When you talk about 40s in Florida, you're talking about freezing. People are dying everywhere, right? We don't have any blood left down here in Florida, right? So our blood is really thin. You hit 40s and it is damn cold, really cold. Let's see. Blackhawk says 3D printers rock. Got a 3D printer, 3D printing helmet. Helmets, really? And other cool things. That'd be kind of cool. I've seen that. You'd have to have, I guess, a big printer to print a helmet. I guess it depends on how big your head is. I probably need a big helmet. I don't know. I need a big helmet, a big printer. Let's see. Moving on. Here we go. So Robbie says A1. There you go. A1. There you go. Get an A1. I guess that's the bamboo A1, right? Bamboo A1. Let me just look that up, right? Bamboo. And what is it? The A1? Yeah. There we go. Bamboo Labs. Here we go. We have a P1S. We got to look at the we got the X1. What else do we have here? Printers, X1 and XE1. Here's the A1 series. All right, so the A1 series are the ones that are open. Got it. They are the open. Why don't I just switch this over so you guys can see it? Right, there you go. So this is the all right, let's unlock that. We don't need free nothing. Here we go, printers. So we have the X1, A1, the P1, that's this contraption here. And then we have the X1C, which is the big boy. So this is the big boy. The buddy of mine, I believe, has this one, the X1C. Pretty cool. So you're looking at $1,300 basically for this unit. But you were saying how the A1 was good. Yeah, here we go. So this would be the open, like an open style printer. And you're looking at $489. Not bad. That's pretty. I mean, it's not bad. It's all relative, right? It's all relevant. It's all relative. So, but yeah, that looks. It looks like it would be a fun thing to do. Absolutely a fun thing to do. I really would like to print stuff for you guys, right? I just, I like designing stuff. So, if it's not a shirt, maybe I'll 3D print something. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. What else we got here? Rod says, I've been printing for a couple of years now, and I absolutely love it. Cool. I only print practical stuff, though. No dust collectors for me. There you go. Only practical, like gears and whatnot. Here we go. Jose, Starlink 3D printing gear. Yeah, Kevin, 3D printing is big in the RC hobby. I used to race RC cars at one time. Don't do it anymore. I did power up a gas one. Actually, I have it over there. Maybe I'll bring it over here before the end of the night. Remind me. Kevin, remind me. Let me see. Happy New Year from Chile. Ruben, how are you doing? Thank you. Gallagher says 3D print. Joe bobbleheads. Yeah, I think that'd be good, right? Just like a bobblehead of me that just like, I don't even know. That'd be funny. That would be funny. I like it. Let's see. Thank you so much, Shannon. Really appreciate that. Yeah, once again, put a Q before your question or JCristina, at JCristina. It makes it easier to find. 3D printed Starship keychain trinket. I like that. That's from Dragon Eggs. Well, let me ask you. what is the liability of me printing a starship? Like, I don't know, like this starship, you know, like a little mini one of these. Will Elon sue me? I don't know. I really don't know. So yeah, maybe there's a lawyer out there. You let me know if I can do that. Obviously, it'd just be for fun. It's not like I'm making $1 million on it or something. It'd be like a couple of dollar type of piece, but yeah, let me know. Phil Camping says, yes, dust collector. I know I live in a farm town, in Dusty here. We have display models inside of our cabinets. Yes, yes. This way you're not full of dust. Let's see. I use a Synology router and love it. That's from Wendy Hill. Yes, Wendy. So if you guys didn't watch it, I made a router out of this. A multi-WAN router. Fiber, Starlink, and T-Mobile, all going into a Raspberry Pi, running OpenWRT, and I believe it was WWAN 3, all on this. And I can tell you, I've been running it now since I did the video about 2 weeks ago or so, and this little damn thing is kicking ass. It is better than any of the routers I've had. It works flawlessly for doing failover and fallback, faster than any router that I've had. And the only thing that I've had that's better than it was the PepLink Balance 30 balance, whatever the hell it is, right? The PepLink, and that's because it had that speed fusion bullshit in it that you have to pay for. I think it's called fusion something. Anyways, where it will actually bond all of your connections together, and it uses a VPN to do it, and yada, 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 and you have to pay every month, right? I'm not into paying every month, so I made that. And it works really, really damn well. Now, you could use Speedify if you wanted to, but generally you use that on one computer. You can also install it on a network, so that is possible. So, but you're paying monthly also. So this was a alternative to not paying and then not using TP-Link either, you know? So I'm going to be reviewing other routers and whatnot coming in the new year because a lot of people want me to do it. So I will be doing that soon, especially for multi-WAN, because people that are watching the show, a lot of you guys are off-gridders. You're people that, you know, have multiple connections. Maybe you have your cell phone as a connection. You have your Starlink as a connection. Then maybe some ground piece of crap connection or whatever. And you want to kind of put them together so one can fail over to the other and then fall back if need be. And that's where the multi-WAN comes in. So, yeah, bobblehead. Love it. Thank you for the bobblehead idea. Let's see. 2 large Titanic models, Phil said. God, that's just amazing. And 130 centimeters. That's a big damn model. That is a lot of printing. So you must be printing like 8 hours a day or something for pieces and stuff. That's crazy. Kevin says, thanks for your videos. I purchased my Mini on November 1st at full price. 2 weeks later, Starlink reduced the price, $150. Of course, that's how it works, Kevin. Lo and behold, Best Buy's price matched mine for a refund. That's nice at least. You got your $150 back. So that's really cool. Congratulations on that Mini. Mini's just badass. I mean, they work really good. The Generation 3s work really good. I mean, they're good, solid. I'm using a Gen 2 still, but you know, it's really good. Really, really good. Shannon says 124,000 subscribers and growing. I appreciate that. Can you believe it? I just saw that the other day. I'm like, holy crap, we're at 124,000. I remember when we did with Fabiola the 100,000, right? 24,000 ago, and it's only been a couple of months. So, you know, you guys are just awesome. All the, you know, I can't really explain on how, you know, how good it makes me feel that not only people are finding value in the channel, but they're also sharing it with their community and getting it out there. So, you know, I have not paid a single penny for advertising on this channel. So every single subscriber is from just simply work, just doing it, right? And continuously doing it. I haven't paid for anybody. I haven't paid for marketing. I haven't paid for advertising. I haven't paid for boosting this and nothing. Zero. Maybe I should. I'm probably an idiot. I don't know, but I just haven't. And, you know, I mean, it's paying off. maybe it could have paid off sooner if I would have got a marketing guy. If you're a marketing guy, help me out. I need some help. But I'm spending all my time making videos and doing all of my other projects that I'm doing on the side continuously. Let's see. Anyone else? Volume low. So someone else having a volume issue. When I look, we're at negative 10 dB. We should be okay. I could pump it up just slightly. I don't want to be hitting the red, so that's just a little bit more dB right there. Turn the volume up so I'm not pegging, because we don't want to go ahead and peg and then we're going to be losing stuff at the top. Hopefully your volume picks up there. Let's see. Moving down here. Shannon, thank you so much for that super chat. I haven't invoiced you yet. You need an invoice. Send an invoice. And Shannon did put in a gift of 10 memberships. Thank you very much. That is very much appreciated. So, David, if you got a free membership from Shannon, say thank you. Tony Shetter has a free membership. Who else do we got here? Moving down. Mom Games. Richard. Tony, or Tom, excuse me. Henry got one. James Wright. Anyways, if you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. That would be much so appreciated. Peter, thank you so much for the super chat. Says please like, subscribe, and share. It would be appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year, Peter. Happy New Year. For all of the old folks that have been with me for quite some time have been asking me on how Peter has been doing. Madison, right? Peter, he was on here every single Friday for well in excess of a year. And I've been writing to Peter every week, every couple of weeks, to see how he's doing. And guys, I just have not been able to get through to him. I just wanted to let you guys know that I have been reaching out to Peter, but I haven't gotten through. So I really hope that he's watching this video. If you are, please reach out to me. Just let me know that you're okay. All right, that's all I want to know. I just want to make sure you're okay. Because the last time we spoke to Peter, he just came out of the hospital and he was recovering from a surgery. I'm not sure what the surgery was, but it worries me because he was with us for so damn long, and then after the surgery, he disappeared. And I just, I just hope he's okay. And if you're listening, please reach out to me. Answer one of my emails. Just let me know that you're fine, and I'll be okay with that. Anyways, so, I hope Peter's okay. So, moving on. Let's see. I'm scrolling up because I know. Do me a favor. Since I don't have Fabiola, sometimes the messages come up quick. Definitely put a Q before your question, and definitely put at JCristina, either which one. That will make it easier. But also, if you see that I missed your question, which I probably will, put it in there again. I don't care, because if I see it twice and I've already answered it, I'm just not going to answer it twice, right? So just put the question in there multiple times. I'm okay with that, all right? So put your question in there. Moving down here, what we got here? Shannon, once again, thank you. Really appreciate that. Renee says, like the IP6 vulnerability that they knew about, for years before telling vendors. Now they recommend the ISA to completely disable IP6. So that's always the case. That's how it always is, right? They're never on it until something happens. But yeah, I get it, Renee. I get it. Is Grok 3 coming out soon? That's from Richard. I hope so. So I use ChatGPT all the time. I love it. What is it, 3.5 now, 4, whatever it is. It works really well. But for my use case, a lot of times I will need to boil down multiple articles because there's a lot of I'm distilling through a lot of information. And so what I'll use is like an AI to kind of bullet stuff out for me, so I'm not reading and there's only so much I can read, right? So what I found is Grok. over there on X, right? His AI, Elon Musk's AI, is better when it comes to that. Now, it's not as good with other things, so it's like when you're using an AI, use the one that is for your specific task so that you get that task done properly. So anyways, yes, if Grok 3 is out, I would love it. I mean, I love Grok anyways. Grok does a fantastic job. If you haven't tried it, go into X, and when you're on X, matter of fact, let me see here. Let's do this. Let's go over to x.com. And then over here on the left-hand side, okay, this is where you're going to find Grok, this little X and an I. You see this right here? If you click on that, all right, here's Grok. And now you can ask it whatever question that you want to ask. It doesn't make a difference what it is, right? And it will go and search the web, and then you can go and ask it to use X number of sites or use current data or past data, whatever you want to do, right? You can ask the question. Matter of fact, maybe we'll ask it a question tonight. So anyways, really like it. If you're using ChatGPT, try Grok. You might like it even better for the questions that you're asking. Let's see. Kevin says at Peter Gosling that watching on the TV, so my volume is good. That's good. Yeah, I'm looking at the decibel range, and we're just under negative 5 dB, negative 10 dB, and that's really in the red. So we're right. We're pushing it, what we can push. Any more than that, we're going to be losing data at the top end. I'm going to break up some. So Phil Brett says, question. You did a video on SpaceX a few weeks ago mentioning owning stocks. My wife, owning stocks? Well, let me see. Monroe came across Destiny Tech 100 ticker, which is the DXYZ in the New York Stock Exchange. This is not financial advice. Has 36% in SpaceX. That's good to know. And that's one of the things I was looking for. And if that is the case, of course, I'll do the research. And if it is the case, I will put it out there because I think that it would be wise, let's say, to get involved in SpaceX anyway. Let's say you can, especially when it comes to Starlink. But as of right now, there's no IPO, and I really don't think there'll be an IPO soon. And the reason being, Elon Musk doesn't need the money. That's really it. Now, does everyone love a few $1 billion here, a few $1 billion there? Yeah. But he really doesn't need it. So I just don't think he would want to lose any control of SpaceX Starlink right now. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. X1 Carbon, Shannon says. Yes, X1 Carbon. That's what we're seeing here. What was it, like $1,200, $1,300? Looks good. Looks really good. Let's see. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, a Q before your question or at JCristina makes it easier to find. What's your thoughts on government? This is from Richard. What's your thoughts on government banning books and education on artificial intelligence and keeping it secretive? So for me, I don't think books should be banned. I don't even care how bad they are. I personally don't think videos should be banned, no matter how bad they are. And the reason being is I'm, of the mindset that I will read and watch and distill down everything, and then I will be the judge. I don't need a government or a religious body or anyone in power to tell me what to believe, what not to believe, what to read, what not to read, what to see, what not to see, what to speak, what not. I don't need any of that, right? And that's my personal opinion. Now, everyone has a different opinion on it. Opinions are like belly buttons, right? Everyone has one, but that's my opinion. I would not want to see any books banned or I don't like to see anything banned. I am 100% a free speecher. I've always been that way all of my life. And, I do not go down any specific path. I always try taking all of the information from every path and then come up with my own, distill it down like I always say, and then come up with my own thoughts. And then on this channel, obviously since it's commentary for the most part, I will give you my commentary, what I think about it. I could be wrong. And that's why you tell me down in the commentary, right? You're like, yeah, you're an idiot. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Because if I am an idiot and there's something that you know that I don't know and you tell me, and I learn that, yes, you're actually right, I'm happy to be wrong. That's my goal, is to be wrong. Because that means I'm going to actually learn something. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Let's see. Robbie says, A1 bamboo. Love mine. A1. There you go. That's the one that's open in comparison to, I guess, the X1 that's closed. Very cool stuff. Very cool. And my understanding too is those bamboo are definitely the best stuff on the market as of right now. As far as printing, kind of like no brainer and not having to do a lot of setup and configuring, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Richard says thoughts on artificial intelligence regulation in the U.S. Won't China just outcompete us? Yeah. So that is, of course, you don't want artificial intelligence is such a thing that everyone will have it, and then what we'll end up having is you're going to end up with some good and you're going to have some bad, and that's why Elon Musk has been spending so much money on his AI farm. I think the last time that I read, he had like 200,000 NVIDIA cards running, 200,000, with another 100,000 coming in for his AI farm, right? For his AI machine. And if you have never seen it, you should go and take a look at it. It's badass. Just think about the sheer numbers of 300,000 NVIDIA graphics cards running this damn thing. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, I digress. But yeah, I don't know. I hopefully someone like Elon that will keep free speech alive, that has an AI that will kind of stay middle of the road and not lean right and not lean left, I would be happy with. All right. But we just have to understand that AI will be taking over a lot of shit. And that is just it. Programming is an issue. If you are a programmer today and you're not doing specific programming and you're doing general programming, maybe some back-end work, some CSS kind of crap or some back-end stuff on a website that it's very easy for these programs to be able to program, you're going to be without a job. Now, if you're doing more specialized work, well, still, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to do it. But you're still going to be able to use ChatGPT and Grok and all the rest of them to be able to, let's say, work on your code, to fix your code, to analyze your code, to make it a little bit more streamlined and stuff. So there's positives and negatives to everything. It's just, I think, just like anything else, when something new comes out, you need to be able to diversify and you need to be able to shuck and jive and change. And what ends up happening is people end up steadfast. They don't want to change. And then they end up getting rolled over. And they're like, I don't know. I lost my job. Well, what did you do about it? You know it's coming. It's not like you don't know. It's coming. We're telling you it's coming. So you gotta move. You got to do something. Question from Tom says, hit that like button. Appreciate that. Let's see. Phil, setting up a resin printer now to print 4 more lifeboats. Phil, it's crazy. I love it. Print those lifeboats. I want to see one. Send me a photo. Send me some pictures, Phil. I want to see them. Send them over to my email. If you guys don't know how to get in contact with me, go over to JCristina.com/contact. Start a conversation there, and we'll be able to kind of chat back and forth. Let's see. Richard. Renee says, will China expand Starlink service equivalent to USA, or will the U.S. consider it a national security? I don't think that they will. I think that the Chinese version of SpaceX Starlink, which they're working on, and it's happening. It's not like it's not happening. That will end up staying in China. It's just not going to come over here. We will not allow it. We're having a hard time with DJI flying drones. We're having a hard time now with TP-Link, right? We're not going to have an entire network, that is readily available or easily, let's say, filtered into our psyche, let's just say. Because, see, that's the thing what goes on with all this stuff. And what people don't understand is it's the slow go of manipulating a people. All right. I don't want to get deep into it, but the bottom line is it's not about the advert, the stuff that you really see happening. It's the stuff that happens slowly over time. It's like, putting the chicken in the pot and turning that pot on. It takes a while to boil, and at first the chicken's like hanging out, and it's like, oh, this feels really nice. And the next thing you know, it's unconscious because now it's boiling, right? So it's that slow boil, right, is what ends up happening. So I just don't think it. I do not think it. I don't think that they will be allowed to have any type of equivalent of SpaceX Starlink in the U.S. I could be wrong, but we will see. Let's see. Moving on here. Once again, JCristina, at JCristina, or a Q before your question. Eduardo, how are you doing? It says, hey, from Puerto Rico. I'm late. You're never late. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Let's see. I have a Dremel 3D printer. It's good design, but gets stuck. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot of these 3D printers are not great. They do get stuck. They waste a lot of product, and then you end up having to redo stuff. Question: instead of TP-Link gigabit switch, any recommendations yet? Also, you got an email inquiry through your website to request send you an iPop. You gotta see. Okay, Gal Girl, I will definitely check that email. Most likely it'll be tomorrow. But yeah, as far as a gigabit switch, I will be doing a bunch of reviews. So hang tight into that. I don't want to recommend anything. I mean, I could recommend some old stuff from a year ago, but I'm going to do testing on all current equipment. That's coming soon. So hang in there. Hang in there. Let's see. Peter says, I have FlashForge. There you go. Guild 3 ultra large build volume. Max volume is 330 by 330 by 600 millimeter. It's a decent size. It's a decent size, Peter. What do you think about that? Do you like that printer? How does it compare to that bamboo thing that everyone talks about all the time? Let's see. Richard says Elon Musk spans to 1 million GPU and beyond without competition in sight. It's possible. You know, it's possible that he ends up with 1 million GPUs. He's going to have 300,000 if he doesn't have it already. Because as of like the month prior, I think it was like November or something, they were up to 200 or something, and they had 100,000 coming to install. So yeah, there'll be eventually 1 million GPUs running. Crazy. Peter says, read the email later. Okay, I will do that, Peter. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, it's about the fake satellite being launched. Okay, yeah, I want to see that. I definitely want to see that. Nelson, how you doing? It says, love your videos. Thank you for being here, Nelson. Appreciate that. Let's see. Eduardo, I do have it. I do have it. Fabiola's not here. I will turn it on just for you. We will see if it like blasts a big torch out. This is what always happens, right? People say, you know what? Turn on the Starship. Fire it up. And I do, and Fabiola's here, and then for some reason, instead of it only coming out like this far, like it should, it literally blows a torch this long. So you know what? Let's take a look. Let's look. Ready? Holy shit. Did you see that, guys? I'm going to have to review that again. It was out to here. See, now if Fab was there, she would have got pissed. It would have burned her hair off. You see that? I don't know why it does that, but if we restart it now, no problem. But the first start, I don't know, maybe it's just the way it sits there. Anyways, I love this damn thing. I know people look at it, they see it back there like, what is that? This is the Starship, a model of the Starship. And it's a torch. What I really would have liked to have bought, and I didn't get to buy it, is the blowtorch. The big, massive blowtorch. That would have been pretty cool. But no, I didn't get one. Let's see. RC cars in the late 80s. Yes, I used to run RCs. They were 7.2 volt. Yeah, I know. I had all the old nickel cadmium batteries and had to do, all of the, it was just like a whole big matching of cells and all that. And now they're on lithium, and it's just like, oh my God. I used to have to work so hard to be able to get the batteries synced up perfect and all matched. Yeah, I know. I hear you, Blackhawk. Let's see. Elon has too much money. He probably won't care. Exactly. I agree with that, Phil Kim. So, yeah, your thoughts on the cyber truck crashing into the Trump Tower. It didn't crash into the Trump Tower. But yes, a cyber truck blew up in front of the Trump Tower. And what I absolutely love, and I don't know if it's here. Let me see. I don't see it here. But Elon Musk said something like, basically that the Cybertruck is the worst nightmare of a bomber because it literally held the bomb in. It blew up, and yeah, it made a big explosion, but it didn't blow out. It didn't blow everything up around it with the amount of explosives in it. So it kind of, obviously it's made out of stainless steel. So it kind of went boom. like this. And yeah, it didn't work out so well, blowing that up in front of Trump Tower. But Elon Musk was kind of laughing about it. It's not nothing to laugh about, but it was kind of comical that you don't want to use a Cybertruck as a bomb. Unless you want to strap the bombs to the outside, but not inside. They don't really get out very well, right? The same way bullets don't get in very well, right? So, yeah. Moving on. People are just nuts, right? Just blowing shit up, just doing stupid stuff. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's like we're turning into like a third world country. What is going on? And then I digress for a second here. But then it's always like, we don't know why it's happening. We don't know why there's all of a sudden we're seeing terror attacks on our home soil. We don't know why. Why is that? They're like perplexed. Like they don't see it. I was talking about this like a year or two on a live that we did. I said, you know what? Could you just imagine the sheer number of cells that have come over the border that are currently sleepers in our country? Could you imagine when you have like 1 million, 2 million, you have all these people that are in here. How many cells are in here now? I mean, this is not rocket science. What does it mean? This means that eventually we're going to start seeing continuous attacks internal to the country because they're already here. Don't be freaking stupid, right? But people are. They're like, oh, I don't know why it's happening. What is going on? Just wait. It's going to get 10 times worse than what you see today. If you don't believe me, go back to this video in a year from now, right? And you'll be like, damn, he was 100% right. I mean, it doesn't take a lot, right? You just got to put a couple of pennies together and see that it's 2 cents and not 3. And you're like, okay, I see what's happening. But a lot of people don't. I don't know. I just don't get it today. I don't get it today. Once again, I digress. Gallagher says you can print that SpaceX ship if you change one thing about it, I think. That's interesting. All right. Thanks, Gallagher. I know you're not an attorney, but if there's an attorney out there, you let me know. I would like to make, remember my little dude, my little guy, that you see him all the time, Megabit, right? You'll see him on my shirt. I would like to do like a bobblehead Megabit. He would be cool, right? Little cartoon dude. I don't even know if I could do that. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, Megabit would be kind of cool. Let's see. Moving on. At JCristina, this would be Wendy Hill says, can you link that video on the pie? I looked for it and for the okay. Yes. Let's do that. Wendy. Let's do that. Let me see. So if you go over to youtube.com/JCristina, right? Let's see. Let's go over to videos. And I believe it is, let's see, right here. You see this little X? Better router for a SpaceX Starlink network right here. 13,000 views. This was 3 weeks ago. Let me go and click on that. I'm going to hit share, copy that, and we will put it in here. So Wendy, there you go. Go watch that video, and you'll see me use this Raspberry Pi to create a really cool router that just works. It's badass. There's no problems with it at all, and I'm still using it. Now that I know this, I made this 3 weeks ago. So from 3 weeks ago, I've been using this every day, and it just simply works. That's just it. Let's see. And it costs like, what, $60 for a Raspberry Pi and maybe a couple of bucks for some USB gigabit, Ethernet USB gigabit connectors or whatever, adapters. Nothing else, a little enclosure I got that has a fan in it. All right. What else? Ricky Joe. Let's see. That's why I got an unmanaged switch. Yes. You can always get an unmanaged switch. You really don't have to worry about, anyone getting into it for the most part because it's not managed. You don't get into it. It's just simply doing the job of a switch. I don't like those type of switches because I'm anal retentive and I want to be able to use a switch for VLANs, for directing traffic, for load balancing, for other shit because, I'm a network guy and I'm, work on fiber channels and Cisco's and this type of stuff. So I like to be able to do that and I don't really do videos about it because no one's going to want to, get into doing really hardcore VLANs and dividing networks up and all the rest of the stuff. It's just going to be a very small video, a very small populace that will watch it. So that's why I don't really do those. But anyways, yes. Yes, associated RC10s. I do have a couple of RC10s. Thank you for that, Kevin. I love my RC10. I got a truck and I got a car. I got another car. I got the gas powered one over there. I got a bunch of RCs. I love RCs. They're just fun, you know. I guess if you're just a dork like I am, you know, like the geek guy, you know, RCs are just a cool thing. Besides computers and stuff. Shannon, once again, thank you for the memberships. I'm going to kind of come down here. I know I'm going to miss people, so I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker. Question, how do you turn your gift on with YouTube? That's from John K. Wolf. Anyone know? Please let John know, because I don't know. I really don't know. Mo World, how you doing, Mo World? How's everything going, Mo? Gifts are random. There you go. And the policy behind it, you have to occasionally watch Joe's videos and interact in the comments section. Yes. Shannon found that out. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago, Mo, or something. And that was really good information. I didn't even know that. Eduardo, hey, Jay, what do you think about the attacks and the warning at Starbase? So I didn't see it. I did not. Like I said, the last week I've shut down. So, Eduardo, send me over a link. Go to jcristina.com/contact. Send me over a link. I would love to read about it, talk about it. If it's something that I need to do a video about, I will. But once again, I kind of just turned off. There was a lot of family stuff. All of my kids came to the house. I had my grandbabies at the house. It was freaking awesome. And I tried to just turn everything off and just enjoy the family. So, but yes, please send that over to me. I would really appreciate that. I use Grok. This is from Shannon. And for my AI creations. Cool. See that? That works. Nice. Kamikaze Ozzy, how are you doing, my friend? Let's see. Wendy, you can still post on X without membership. Yep. I've had several. Yeah, absolutely. Kamikaze Ozzy. Please like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Magic Flying Potato answers John Wolf. Thank you for that. Nelson says to Shannon, give me a membership. I'm here every day. Yeah, it is random. There's no way of knowing. Shannon can't give anyone specifically a membership. When Shannon or Peter or someone gifts a membership, it's literally random. But like they were saying earlier, it does go to people that actually watch and interact. That does kind of skew it a little bit, just so you know. Matt says, crank the volume up. Peter, I have 102 viewers, but only 25 likes. Yes. Why is that? You know, I always wonder, right? I always look, I'm like, there's 130 people. Right now it's like 100. There's, you know, it always changes. I'm like, why is there only like 25? Like, people just hate me. If you're watching right now and you're not saying anything because you're shy, that's fine. Throw the video a like. Throw the live a like. That's all. I don't ask for anything else. Do it. I appreciate it. That would be awesome. Let's see. Jason says the cards are about 20K each. Yeah, 20K each times 100,000, right? Think about the money that goes into these things. Absolutely crazy. Low Tech Greg says getting an enclosed printer so that can print the ABS or ASA and others that require a heat chamber. Yep. That's the buddy of mine does the exact same thing. Question from Phil the Brit. It says government used to think that the world was flat. Yes. And we're, you know, it's funny that you say that. Think about all of the things that were disproved over the course of many centuries, right? It's just, you know, what is fact today is fallacy tomorrow, and the stuff that is fallacy today ends up being fact tomorrow. So it's like you kind of have to keep an open mind to all this stuff. It says over time, governments and beliefs change. I agree with you 110%. Absolutely. Skynet, Flying Potato says Skynet. Yep. Remember Skynet? We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. And the Chinese are getting there as quick as we are. I did a video and I talked about how the Chinese are using satellites now to not only do satellite-to-satellite communication through lasers, but the Chinese are doing ground-to-satellite communication with lasers. And that's something that Elon Musk and SpaceX is not doing as of yet. It's not easy to do, and there are issues, and I'm not going to get into it. But the speed, if it is a good connection from space to Earth using lasers, is fast. They're getting about 100 gigabits currently. NASA has tried to do it once before in 2023, and they were able to hit 200 gigabits per second from space to Earth using lasers. So, you know, eventually I think there's going to be a lot of lasers going on from the ground to satellite, satellite to ground. But we'll see what ends up happening with that. Let's see. Moving on. Kevin says Mini works. It says Mini works through the roof and through the RV. No need to have it outside. Yes, this worked in Lake. So that is true. A lot of people have reported that the dish do work even through a roof. Do they work well? You know, it really depends. Your speeds are going to be a lot slower, but certain roofing materials will allow for signal to penetrate, and you can use a dish inside and it will work. Some people don't realize it, but it does work. Thank you for that. That is very, very important. Some people don't know it. Kamikaze Ozzy says I need more H1B software. Engineer H1B applications, eventually not enough in the U.S. Well, there you go. Eventually there won't be a lot of programmers at all, actually, and software engineers, which is just kind of sad, but that's just the way it is. You'll have the main ones that are doing the manipulation of the AI and let the AI actually do the heavy lifting. There's no reason to heavy lift if something else can do it for you, right? Spend your time deep at thought, right? Coming up with new concepts in comparison to doing the grunt, mundane, if you don't have to, right? Let's see. Phil says, what was your email address again? Yeah, so go to JCristina.com. JCristina.com/contact. Just go JCristina.com and then just click contact. That's all you need to do. Let's see. Mo World. Let's see. Another one. Low Tech Greg says the slow boiling frog. It is absolutely slow boiling frog. How's your cold? Not bad. I feel pretty good. Voice is kind of all right, not bad. I still at night get a little kind of raspy, but for the most part, I feel pretty damn good. Thank you for that. Thank you for asking. Moving on. Once again, at JCristina or put a Q before your question. That just makes things super, super easy. Let's see. Moving up here. I know I'm going to miss some, but that's okay. Let's see. Shannon says, that's the fun part on Fridays. You never know what the conversation will be. And without Fabiola here to kick him, it really gets interesting. Thanks for that, Shannon. It's true. I go down like a rabbit hole, and usually Fabiola will kick the hell out of me because I'm going down this rabbit hole. And right now she's not here, so I'll try not to. I will try not to. You know I can talk forever. Anyways, let's see. Kamikaze Ozzy says, speaking of satellites, could the moon be hollow? Why not? It's made out of cheese anyways, right? Kamikaze Ozzy, you know. Swiss cheese. Remember the cartoons? I remember the cartoons. Of course they're right. Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese. Eventually we're going to see, probably before the end of this year, all right, we're going to see SpaceX Starlink satellites orbiting the moon. Watch for it. Watch for it. You'll see it. You will see it. We're going to see the version 3s, I believe, this year, shot out through the Pez dispenser of the SpaceX Starship. But we're also going to, I think, see a few satellites orbiting around the moon. We will see if it happens. I have a feeling that it will before the end of the year. But we will see. We need communication, right? And if they want to do landings over there on the moon, they're going to need communication. And a super easy way to do it is through SpaceX Starlinks. Rod says, why hasn't everyone else mentioned the Persia? Mines. See, I don't even know this Prusa. I've heard of it, but I've never heard good or bad about it. So let us know about it, Rod. says mine is very reliable, as mentioned a few years ago, and it says all free on going updates. So I mean, it's open source too. So yeah, let me know about it. Let me know about it. What I hear right now, the word on the street is that the Bamboo is the way to go. All right, it's like the cat's meow. It just simply works. You don't have a lot of crap to do with it. So I don't know. Let me know. Let's see, Falcon 40W. Love it. Bathroom. Yes, no bathroom work was done. Thank you, Rob, for asking me about the bathroom. No bathroom work was done during the holidays. Once again, the kids were over. The grandkids were over. That's all we did was eat, drink, and be merry. That was it. Let's see. Moving on. There's a lot of kicks from Peter. I appreciate those kicks. Peter, thank you for those kicks. Can I email your address? Yes, you can go ahead and email me, Phil. No problem. Joe R says, what does a necklace represent? This necklace is actually Fusark, runes, right? Runes. My people, obviously, I'm Germanic and Sicilian, actually. So the Germanic roots are, they're from this time, right? So this is actually the alphabet, Fusark alphabet, runes, basically. That's what it is. So moving on. Some people ask me, they're like, what exactly is that? Well, that's what it is. They're runes. Let's see. Bathroom. Yeah, nothing on the bathroom, Mo. Stop with the damn bathroom. No bathroom. No bathroom. Let's see. No one says, what software do you use for getting an Xbox controller to work on Ubuntu? That's a good question. I didn't know that you could even get an Xbox controller to work on Ubuntu. But if you can, let me know. Maybe I'll do a video about it, because there's a lot of people that use Xbox controllers, and it would be kind of cool to use it on gaming, but on Ubuntu. And I'll put that into my series of cutting the cord with Windows. Guys, Windows is still here. I know some of you guys said to plug it back in, but God, it feels dirty to plug this damn piece of crap back into the computer. So we're on 150, 60, maybe 100, probably like 160 days, 150, 60 days, something like that, of no Windows. Zero. Windows has been sitting over there. That's all that I'm using is Linux. Mint. So, yeah. So I'm going to keep using it until I just can't. I don't know. I do need to plug that in. I keep saying that, but I don't want to. I don't want to plug Windows back in. I'm just sick of it. Don't worry, Shani. Virtual kicks are coming. Thank you, Mo. Appreciate that. Keep those virtual kicks coming. Welsh and Sun Farm says, question. Do you think that we could ever get in bed with the enemy? I think we should get rid of the Chinese electronics. Plus, you need 5 kicks. I appreciate that. Yeah, so just, is it wise to get in bed with the enemy? I mean, it could be for certain situations, right? I don't know. It's a hard one to do. It's a hard one to do. Jose says, how much faster speed do you think that we'll get just off one Starlink launch for the Generation 3s? So what will happen is the Generation 3 satellites are 10 times the capacity and 5 times the size, 4 times the size. I don't know. They're big ass. So they have to be launched in this thing. And then they have right up here, they got the little slit at the top, like a Pez dispenser, and it just shoots out like little Pez, all of the satellites. They're going to be able to shoot out 100 or more, 150 satellites at a time. But remember, each one of the satellites is equivalent to 100 when it comes, or 10 when it comes to capacity. So you're talking about a lot. So when you launch, let's say, 100 of these, it'd be the equivalent of 10 times that if you were launching 1.5s or 2.0 minis. So it's going to be just a major ramping once they're able to start putting those into orbit. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. Shannon has given memberships, I see here. This is, thank you so much, Shannon. This is MA 3Day 49. David got a free membership. Steve got a free membership. CM, so on and so forth. Drunken Emerald Arrow got a free membership. Brandy, and so on. If you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you. Please say thank you. That is much so appreciated. We got a whole bunch of bananas. I love the bananas. Did you guys see the bananas on the IFT launch? That was awesome. That was awesome. It's the kind of stuff that they do, right? They just do cool shit. They do. Love all the pink poop emojis. Moving down. Let's see. Yes, Kamikaze, please. Everyone, throw a thumbs up, a like on the video or on the live. I would appreciate that. Phil says, I want to start using ASA filament. So far, I've been trying the PLA and the PETG. So, yeah, I just, a lot of people are, looking into those because they want to print something that is a little bit more, let's call it steadfast, right? You'll be able to put it into UV, put it outside, not see it melt, or there's less problems of cracking and damage, and they're just harder, right? Just harder. Let's see. Moving down. If you have a question, once again, put a Q before your question or at JCristina. Here's a question from Phil. It says there's no option to add an image on your contact page. Yes. Just write something. I will hit reply to you, and then you can just write to me back and forth on there. No problem. That's so we don't have like my email address out there, and then I end up with just, as it is now, I get hundreds of emails. But if the email address was out there, I would get thousands of emails, and then I wouldn't be able to get to any of the people that I should be getting to because I'm going through so much spam. It's horrible. Let's see. Moving down. Once again, at JCristina. Dutch Linux says, you slacker. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yes. Yes. Still using Mint. And I'm enjoying it. I really am. I'm enjoying it. It just seems to work. It's doing a good job. It hasn't failed me. I might try a few more distros. Now we're seeing going from 22 to 24. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with it. Might do some now for the new year. Peter says, wind blows. Linux Mint all the way. Yes, Peter. Yes, I absolutely love it. I really do. When something just works, you just, like, why use something like, I've always said the reason why I use Linux Mint right now is because it just gets out of the way and it lets me work, right? I don't need to think about, doing this or that or whatever, installing something all the time or something, or there's something just blue screens of deaths itself with like Windows or something. I just don't have that. It just simply works. So, and I don't even have to reboot it. I don't know. But we'll see. There's always some problems, right? Let's see. Kevin says to Mo World, told us she had a really long day. Yes, that's right. And was resting. That is right. Fabiola's kind of taking a break. And I didn't drag her out here tonight. I didn't. Magic Flying Pretzel says, never go in against a Sicilian when death's on the line. The Princess Bride. Yes. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, a Q before your question or at JCristina. If I missed your question, please put it in there again, and I promise I will get to it. I shouldn't promise. They might flow through, and it does the exact same thing that it does with Fabiola. I'll look at the question, and then all of a sudden I'll move it, and it'll just hop like, I don't know, pages have gone by. It's like, what the hell is going on with this damn thing? Here's a question from William. It says, Starlink Mini is now available in Canada. I get mine in 3 days. That's awesome. See that? The Starlink Mini. I said that the Starlink Mini will be available in Canada in December. I'm not sure if it was or not, but I'm glad to hear that now it is definitely available to you in Canada. Good stuff. Really, that you'll enjoy it. You'll like it. And what I tell everyone when it comes to the Mini is that if you're doing any kind of camping, or if you're trying to use SpaceX Starlink as a off-grid type of thing, and you want to now power it through, let's say, DC instead of AC, and not have to use an inverter to do so, well, the Mini is really good because it allows you to use that barrel connector and literally connect it directly like from a Jackery or something and just power it. It just makes things a lot more simple. And you don't lose the 10, 15, 20% that you would if you are going to now invert your AC power to DC and back and forth, right? So that's basically it. So it is definitely a great system, especially if you're going to go off grid or if you want to power it through battery. Tips, tricks. Yes, this is from Arnold. Take a look at today's video. I did about, a lot of tips and tricks on how to use the Starlink app and dialing things in, just to get them to work even better than the way they are. And a lot of techniques and a lot of things that I shared in today's video are stuff that I would say a good 80 to 90% of you will not know all of them. You will definitely learn something from today's video. So definitely check that out. It's long too. I think it was like 35 minutes, 36 minutes long, much longer than my normal. My normal videos are about 15 minutes or so. So we're well in excess of double. But I just wanted to do it because people have asked me to do it, and there it is. So let's see. Moving on. This is from Peter. Peter says, what about the new heat shield being made out of metal? Yeah, so I was hearing about that too, Peter, that they were trying different like substrates underneath the ceramic tiles and then also different metals on the top of the tiles and under the, and they're doing, I don't know. I do know one thing, that the heat shielding is first and foremost the most important thing when it comes to that Starship, because if the Starship cannot re-enter, okay, and not burn up, it's not going to be reusable, right? And their goal is reusability. So the heat shielding is going to be absolutely mission critical. So they're going to need to put a lot of time and effort. And what we did see is that they did end up bringing in this last Starship, instead of bringing that thing in like this, like at a really like a low angle, like let's say a very easy angle coming in like this and heating up the belly. They literally brought it in like, they brought it in heavy. When I say heavy, I mean they added excess strain, G-forces, heat, and everything to it because they wanted to burn it up. They really wanted to exert the most force they could on the damn thing to see what ends up collapsing, so that they know that they can build into or onto that. So the last IFT was definitely let's say a building process to make the next one. The next one is going to have bigger capacity when it comes to the tanks. It's going to be much bigger, better, everything. So, and now hearing that they're going to use the Pez dispenser to actually launch out either a prototype or even a dud or something in the shape of a Starlink 3, I think is phenomenal. So anyways, we'll see what ends up happening with that. We will see. Hopefully that metal shield, they're going to keep on working at it to see what works. Sky Beetle 1965 says, question. To ask question, I have to leave full screen. Really? Why is that? I can either use Edge or Google to enter the internet highway. Is there an alternative choice? That is a good question. I don't know. Usually with Google, you should be able to just ask a question right to the side where the chat is. But I didn't know that the chat didn't exist in full screen. So that's news to me. Let's see, tech support. I like that name. Wonder how long 24,000 milliamp hour power bank would last with the Starlink Mini. That's a good question. 24,000 milliamp. Well, it's going to be a bit. It's going to be a long bit. I mean, it would have no problem, obviously, to go throughout the night to recharge through solar, let's say the next day. You could use a smaller battery for that, actually. So I don't know how long that would last. But if you have one, test it. Let me know. I would like to know. That would be a cool test. How long can you run it without? But for the most part, remember, whenever you're using a Jackery or some other type of battery that you're going to now used for your Starlink Mini, it really only needs to run at night, right? That's it. Because during the day, you're going to be getting sufficient amount of power to run it, to run your Starlink. So you don't need it for that long. It depends on how long you're going to use it during night hours. So you don't need that much. Send Fabi our love. Thank you so much, Mo. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Moving on. Let's see. Jay, do you have a newbie video for your Linux Mint install? I'm kind of nervous about it. So take a look at that entire series, and you will see me actually install Mint, I think twice, because I blew the shit up once, and then I had to reinstall it again. And then once I had it installed for a long period of time, that's when I installed the Recall like software. Basically, it's like the equivalent to what Apple has, where you can go back in time, type of thing, the time machine. So that time warp deal works really, really well. So definitely take a look at that. That is definitely something that you should be using once you get it working. But anyways, take a look at my playlist, and you will see all of my, as they call them, I think it's breaking away or breaking free, life after Windows, cutting the cord. And that's when I go into all the Linux stuff. So check that out. Shannon, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Wow, Shannon, I appreciate that. Man, 2025, starting with a great first live. Skip got a free membership. Who else? We got Marco, NWA Prep got a free membership. David Roy got a free membership. Let me see. Willa, Bill, G McG. I like it. Anyways, if you got, and Jarrett, of course, if you got a free membership, please say thank you to Shannon. All right? Shannon gave you that free membership. Please reach out and say thank you. Let's see. Mo World says, incoming ballistic missiles from Shannon. I love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Always. Tech support says, what's up? Scott from South Carolina. Let's see. Moving on. Once again, if you have a question, put a Q before your question or at JCristina. Makes it easier for me to find. Let's see. Kamikaze says, damn, another ad. Tech support. I haven't found one power bank that's small to power up my Starlink. Yeah, take a look at them. I mean, I have a backup, a small backup, but it's like under 1,000 VA, I think it is, or something. It's not really that, but it lasts for a long time. So, and I have the Generation 2. So, if you guys watch today's video, you'll be able to see, because I actually bring up the power that's currently being used. And it's lower than what, I almost feel like it's lower than what it used to be, which makes no sense to me at all. Let me see if I can find it here. Let me see, guys. Let me see. Is it here? It is. All right, let me do like this top-down nonsense. Here we go. Let me see. Does this work? It did work. All right. So here it is. You guys see that? Maybe? Yes? No? Maybe? Yes. So take a look at this. You see this? That's the home screen. Look at that latency, 28 milliseconds. Gotta love that, gotta love it. But see, if we go to statistics here, we have ping, latency, throughput, and then over here, the bottom right-hand corner is what you're gonna wanna look at. Can we bring that in nice and tight? You see that? 35 watts, guys, 35 watts on average for the last 15 minutes. And we're currently pushing some data through this damn thing, all right? 35 watts, that's it. And this is with the Generation 2. Yeah, the Generation 2. So not a lot of watts, right, to do what it's doing. Not a lot of watts. So, yeah, and with the Generation 3, it's even less. Originally, we were seeing about 50 to 60 watts. Why is it 35 now? I don't know. Because that's not the way it used to be. Obviously, they did some software or something. They did some crazy ass shit because honestly, I don't know. And I know that I've had that since the very beginning. So what do we got? Like 40 months now or something? I've had that same unit. It's like unit number like 2000 of the generation 2s. It's like literally the first ones that came out after the Gen 1s, the round ones. Yeah, so anyways, 35 watts, guys, 35 watts. That's what we're pulling right now in a Gen 2. Gen 3 should be less. Let's see. When Starlink public with their stock, would you recommend? And when do you think it might happen? And this is from MA3Day49. I don't think that they're going to do an IPO anytime soon. I don't think we'll be able to buy Starlink stock. Now, asking me, what do I think? I think you can figure out easily that if I had the ability to buy SpaceX Starlink stock when I came on board, when there was only 112,000 people that had SpaceX Starlink, now there's 5 million, I would have bought SpaceX Starlink stock, without a doubt, because I saw the future in it. And if you go back to my very first videos that I talk about SpaceX Starlink, you'll hear me talk about this, because I just knew it. And I knew that people would not understand the ramifications of it and how massive that it would become. And now look at it, guys. It is on planes, trains, automobiles. It's on boats, cruise liners. It's throughout the entire world. It's ubiquitous. It's one of these things now that has exploded, and everyone in the world is talking about it. I can't tell you how many oh my God, how many articles I've read out of India that I'm just so sick and tired of hearing about them and their bullshit over there, and they don't want to allow SpaceX Starlink into their country. And you know what, to be honest with you, India doesn't need to have it. And if they don't want it because they want to manipulate their people and not have free speech, and they want to try to manipulate SpaceX Starlink, which Elon Musk will never allow, don't take it. Don't have it. I personally could care less. But I read so many articles from India talking about on how they're doing this and the other thing, and they might go through and they might not. And honestly, it just gets to be old after a while. So anyways, as far as for me, it's massive. All right. And if I could have bought in way back 40 months ago, I would have. Would I buy today? I would. This is not investment advice. This is just, I think, common frickin' sense. All right. If you don't see the writing on the wall on where SpaceX Starlink is going as of today, I mean, you've been under a rock for once again a couple of years. Okay. So yeah, it is massive, and it is everywhere. Everyone is speaking about it, and there is governments around the entire planet that are using it today. It's really that massive. And it's not going to get smaller. It's only going to get bigger. Once again, with the Generation 3 Starlink satellites that are up there. Let's see. Kevin says, we just ordered a DeWalt battery. Adapter for the car power outlet. Yeah, DeWalt's awesome. I have all DeWalt stuff. They are great. Ricky Joe says, how do them Mr. Clean car washes carry the car through automatically out with a lot of the park and the neutral? I don't know what. Ricky Joe? I don't know. I don't know, Ricky Joe. Let me see. Milwaukee batteries. Yes, Milwaukee's not bad. I still like DeWalt stuff. I've always liked DeWalt. They've done me right for many years. Let's see. Moving down. If you have a question, put a Q before the question or at JCristina. MD3 Day says, let's see. Oh, we read that one. Sky Beetle 1965 says, question. Below your picture, put a box with a link for thumbs up and down and chat. I lose the picture when I'm typing in the chat. That's so weird. I don't even know. I don't know. Sky Beetle. I'm at a loss. It's YouTube. They do crazy stuff. And when I'm reading your comments, they jump around a lot, and then I miss stuff. And that's just because it's just the way that it works. It's not great. Not great. Let me see here. Moving on. Yes, 36 watts here. Low Tech Greg says he's pulling 36 watts. And look at this, Low Tech Greg. Let's see. Here we go. Check it out. There it is, 36 watts. Same as of right now, 36 watts. It was 35 just a minute ago. Now it's 36. So kind of it is what it is. It is what it is. It's going to be right around that. I looked at it today, and I think I saw 33 watts one time. That was when I was doing that video for today's video. Field Camping Review says, would be interesting to see what Elon comes up with if he does produce a phone. It would be cool. A lot of people have talked about this phone. I've even talked about the phone. I've said that if Elon Musk came up with a Tesla phone or a Pi phone or whatever the hell you want to call it, Starlink phone, I would take my iPhone and all the rest of the family's iPhones. I would run them over with the car live, and then I would pick up 3 of his phones because I'm tired of Apple. So I would love to see it. But all of these videos that you see online that shows that he's making this phone and the phone is already out, and then you hear this guy in this deep voice talking about it. Yes, the phone is out and it's X number of dollars and it's going to do that. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Whenever you see, this is something that I think that I wish that everyone would do. If you go to YouTube and there is a faceless video, take that video with a grain of salt, because a lot of these faceless videos are bullshit, okay? Because people don't want to put a face with what they're saying. Chances are it's a bunch of nonsense. And a lot of these videos that talk about the Tesla phone, the Pi phone, all the rest of the BS, they are all BS, 100%, and they are all faceless. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's see. Disregard. Found it. That's from William. Let's see. Moving down here. What do we got here? ChatGPT. Text. Effective. Running. Dash. 8.23 divided by text. There you go. See? ChatGPT. There you go. Tech support. ChatGPT. It works for the most part. Is it going to be perfect? No, but it definitely, let's say, shortens the process, number one, for writing code, but then also it allows you to use it to be like a test bed to test code to see what works and what doesn't work. And then give you ideas on how to change things too, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Magic Flying Potato says that this Starlink has an update. There you go. There's a lot of updates that have been going through the last couple of months. Excuse me, guys. My voice, my throat. Let's see. Rod says, I'd certainly have Starlink if I could afford it. Maybe one day. I have installed a few on RVs for people, and they love it. Absolutely. It's not cheap, right? It is not cheap. But it is the best out there when it comes to satellite, right? HughesNet, Viasat, complete crap, right? So there's no reason even to look at those. So you have Starlink, or you have 5G, LTE, that type of thing. The problem is if you're doing camping, and you're out on a trail somewhere, or you're off grid, or somewhere out and about where there's no cell towers, well, you have no signal at all. So SpaceX Starlink comes in clutch when it comes to that kind of stuff. Also, if you're in a rural area like me, where we had AT&T's absolute shit U-verse, which was 15 megs down and 1.5 megabits up for 25 years. SpaceX Starlink was a life changer. And I think everyone else that is in the same predicament like we are or were, SpaceX Starlink is definitely something that the entire family will love. And it's worth every single penny when you do not have anything else. Okay, it is worth it in comparison, once again, to Viasat or any of the rest of them. HughesNet, which is garbage too. Let's see. Moving on, once again, at JCristina, or put a Q before your question. Either one works. There you go. ChatGPT says, this is from tech support, 7 hours if it's using 35 watts and 12 volts. There you go, 7 hours. So 7 hours would be like, let's say you're using it at night. You're not going to be powering it, obviously, 3 a.m. in the morning, but maybe when the sun goes down, you power it until midnight, and you expend that battery life. And now in the morning, it's recharging on your solar array and feeding it power and, of course, charging the battery at the same time. So that should be enough. I would like to see 12 hours. I think 12 would be a really good number. 7, I think, is a little bit light. That's my personal opinion. Let's see. I still have a Generation 1 circle dish. Yeah, I love it. That's from William. And I bet you the damn thing works out great, as it does. They work out really good. Let's see. I have used the Starlink all the time. Have been 2.5 years now. That's from Phil. Yep. Likewise here, Phil. Likewise. Has Starlink gone public? That's from Kamikaze Ozzy, and the answer is no. And in my personal opinion, they will not be going public. And back to the phone thing. The bottom line with the phone thing is I saw an interview with Elon Musk about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Elon Musk explicitly said, I will not be making a phone unless I am made to make one. His rationale is if the companies were to, let's say, dispel free speech, or he said even when it comes to not just free speech, but to free applications where, let's say, they denied X, for example, on their phone completely, he would immediately produce a phone, all right? Because he wouldn't allow that. Free speech is that important to him, okay? And having the ability to use apps and not, have this issue where you can't use this, you can't use that, and stopping people from using applications that they just simply don't want you to use. Perfect example is like X. If they don't like Elon Musk and are like, no, on an Apple phone, you can't use X. How will that go over? You know what I mean? So that's the only time that he will be making a phone. So I don't think a phone's going to be made. And if it is made, it's going to be in a long time from now, right? I just don't. He's got bigger fish to fry. He's got to fry this thing, right? He's got to fry that thing. And hopefully it doesn't fry. So this way they can get to the moon and Mars and back. Video, like 100. Happy New Year. Thank you for being here. Happy New Year, everybody. Appreciate you all. Reminder show us the RC car. Kevin, all right. I'm gonna go get the RC car as I told you I would. All right. I told you I would, Kevin. I don't want to say it and then not do it. I don't want to say it and not do it. That's not right. Here you go. It's got dust on it, but there you go. So this RC is this is the gas powered one. All right, you want to see it? So this is what it looks like. Can you see it? Let me go full screen here so you can see it. There you go. So that's one of them. I have multiple RC cars. This one, like I said, is the gas powered one. Let's go ahead and pop. We will pop it off just so you can see what it looks like under the hood. And there you go. There it is. So, no gas in here. Simple design. Very good. This one is like probably one of the better ones. They work out great. This thing screams. I don't even know how fast it goes. It goes fast as hell. So anyways, there you go. You wanted to see it? This is one. I have, like I said before, the old RC10s. I have the battery-powered car as well as trucks. I used to race them, right? Not professionally, but I did race them in many like competitions, let's say. So there you go. There is that. Let's see. Moving on. I told you I'd do it, so I have to do it. Let's see, moving on, pop-up chat, overlay. Oh, that's from Dutch Linux. Thank you for that, for letting Sky Beetle 1965 know. Appreciate that. Moving on, PiPhone. I bet the PiPhone is going to be a Linux OS. It would be if it was ever to be made. It would certainly be Linux-based. Let's see, Tim says, pulling 137 watts because heater is caught. Okay, so 137 watts is what Tim's pulling on his, and the reason being, obviously, is because it's heating up. This is probably snowing over there. It's cold. So that's what ends up happening. If you guys don't know, I've said this in the past, you're not getting, it's not, there is no coil inside of the Starlink dish to a heater, let's say. The way it works is that it actually pumps more voltage, more amps, more load into the unit, and it heats the unit up. That's how it works. So there's no coils that have like a heater built into it or something. It's literally giving it more amps and more volts. And that's why a lot of the cables were burning out. And I said in a video way back when, I said, listen, Elon Musk with their SpaceX, they really need to make a better cable because the cable's not able to handle the amount of amp load that it requires to be able to melt that damn snow. And I think they did. Because I haven't heard from you guys about burnt up cables. I even did a video on how to repair the cables way back when. And I showed you exactly how to repair them so you didn't have to go and get a new set from SpaceX over there, from Starlink. Moving on. If I missed your question, please, I apologize. Put it into the chat again. I would appreciate it. This thing's jumping around. Shannon, thanks so much for the super chat. So sorry all. I am venting at a race right now. Oh, you are. So when someone comes up to the trailer, I have to turn down volume and sell them something. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate you being here and you're sitting there at your trailer. Shannon, yeah. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. Wow. Yeah. Give Shannon a pat at least. He's here and he's doing it while he's trying to sell to customers. That's awesome. My God. Let me see. Moving on here. Shannon put in another 10 memberships, guys. 10 memberships. LC, TA, Bus Rider, got a membership. Gothic, got a membership. Bad Picks, got a membership. Let's see. Shane, CRT, Leo, TS, and Zach. If you got a free membership from Shannon, please say thank you to him. He's working hard and he's giving free memberships. God, Shannon, thank you. Really appreciate that. Let's see. At JCristina or Cube before your question. Let's see. Ricky Joe says, what caused the Galaxy A14 or 5G to randomly freeze up? That's a good question. I've been hearing people having problems with these Android devices. I think they have, I think there's something going on with one of the builds or something. I heard from a few of people that I know that their Androids weren't even working. Matter of fact, I saw I think it was Instagram, of this guy trying to video fireworks and a guy behind him with like an iPhone or something, videoing the fireworks while videoing him. And he had, I think it was a Galaxy, and he just had the spinning. It was spinning. He was trying to get into the camera to be able to record the fireworks, and it's spinning and spinning and spinning. And the guy's like this, taking pictures of the fireworks, and then back to his phone. Then the fireworks and his phone. There's something going on. I don't know. They're freezing up. They're doing crazy shit. I think I think they broke something in a software update. They need to fix it. But yeah, you're probably not the only one. There's a lot of people that are having problems. Let's see. I was recently out west in Australia for 3 weeks with Starlink. That's felt awesome. Let's see. SpaceX, okay, speeds last night. Not bad. 192 by 24. 192 down by 24 up, almost 25 up. William, that's great speed. That's not bad speed at all. Not bad speed at all. Let's see. Moving on. Starlink was a lifesaver. This is from Magic Flying Potato. Where I live, no internet companies except Wi-Fi broadband, which runs slower than dial-up and almost cost as much. Yeah. When you look at the cost of SpaceX Starlink in comparison to a lot of the alternatives for off-grid people like ourselves, or let's say rural areas, there's no competition at all. There's none. And as the cost of SpaceX Starlink's hardware goes down, even if the monthly stays at $120, But if the hardware goes down, $349 we saw some at $200. We even saw some at $199 last year. I think that eventually we will see SpaceX Starlink's actual hardware free, just like you would get from T-Mobile home internet, Verizon home internet, or AT&T's Internet Air. Okay, I think that the actual hardware is going to be free. Not yet, but it will, because they're making $120 every month, right? And now they have that massive plant, I think it's out of Texas, that's pumping out just a shit ton of these things, just a ton. So, remember what I'm telling you. Remember what I'm telling you. I'm predicting right now, this live, we will see a time when SpaceX Starlink's hardware will be free. Okay, probably won't be in a year, but it's going to happen. I think what will end up happening is we're going to see the numbers go down from $349 down to $249 down to $199, and it'll probably stay there for a long time. Finally, it'll hit like a $99, and then finally nothing. So I think that's how it'll end up going down. I could be wrong. We'll see. Carl, what does Carl say? Carl, thank you for being here. Says, do you think eventually Elon Musk will integrate Starlink into Tesla vehicles, especially when they are fully autonomous? So you buy a Tesla and you get service automatically. Yes, 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 and yes, Carl. I do believe that. I've said it from the very beginning. There's no reason why Tesla automobiles do not have Starlinks already built into the roof. There's no reason for it, because the size of it is so small now. Look at the Mini. The Mini is like the size of like an iPad. It's like little. Very easy to stick that at the top of a Tesla inside and still be able to get fantastic connection. I've said this before. I will say it now, and I do believe that we're going to see every single Tesla with SpaceX Starlinks on board, and they were all going to be like a massive mesh network. Each Starlink car is going to be talking to every other Starlink car. I believe that will happen, just like all of the Starlink satellites. I do think that that will happen. And I do think also that that car will become your central hub. So since it will have built-in Wi-Fi, that means that your car, you'll be able to pull into a park and now use Wi-Fi in the park. You don't even need to do it. You could be like 100 feet, maybe 125 feet away from your car and still get good enough signal with your phone using your car, Starlink. So yes, I do see that coming, all right? Is it here yet? No. Why isn't it here yet? I don't know. I think it's stupid for it not to be. That's my opinion. But Elon Musk knows more than I do, obviously. So, but it will happen. I can't see why it wouldn't happen. It just doesn't make any sense why it wouldn't happen, right? Anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. Let's see. Dutch Linux says, if Musk is so darn smart, then why has he not invented the warp drive yet? I was hearing about some anti-gravity, some kind of gravity drives, propulsion systems just tonight. Real, not real, Memorex, I don't know. But I heard something about it. I think that this year is going to be one of those years that some big stuff happen. You know, people say that every year, but I really do believe with everything that's going on with the world, everything that's going on with AI, everything that's going on with autonomous robotics, you know, one of the smartest robots that's currently out there is a Tesla car, right? Tesla car is basically a robot on wheels. That's it, right? It can be fully autonomous and drive across the freaking country. I mean, it's just crazy if you think about it. So I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening with it. But that's what we're here. That's what this channel is all about now, right? I just really love technology. I love what's going on over there with SpaceX. I love what's going on with Starlink. I love what's going on with Tesla and how they're moving forward with it. Am I someone that will go and buy a Tesla? Probably not, because I'm like the, gas guy. I want to smell the fumes. Okay, that's just how I am. I like that. I used to build, old cars, 69 Chevelles, 78 Z28, all kinds of. I used to build the old cars until finally I started building more of the ricey cars instead of the U.S. cars. And I enjoy the gas, right? But I see a big value when it comes to Tesla. My problem is like where Fabiola and myself, we took a trip over the holidays, and we went up into the Jacksonville area. So you live, what about 5 hours north of us, something like that. And on the road, we saw one, and then we saw two, and then three. We keep seeing these Teslas stuck on the side of the road. And I told her, I said, you know what? I bet you these Teslas are not broken. I bet you they don't have flat tires. I bet they're out of frickin' fuel. They're out of battery life. And if you're on a highway and you go to a Tesla charging station, and that charging station is down because your plug is broken because someone broke it, or whatever the case might be, now you're having to reroute to another location. And if that location also has a problem, now you're probably out of fuel, out of charge. So, seeing that is just, it's not for me. I still believe it's, like an overgrown golf cart that I think is fantastic in the city or within 50 miles or, even 100 miles. But it's just not there yet. And it's not because the car isn't there yet. The reason I don't think it's there yet is because there's not enough charging locations. Every single gas station needs to have a charging station before that it will become as big as what they want it to become. It's just not there yet. It will be one day, but battery power needs to get better, whereas it needs to be smaller, lighter weight, and hold more battery, more energy. Also, the speed in which it charges needs to be faster too. You can't just fill up fuel and it takes 3 minutes and then fill up, a Tesla to 80% and it takes 35 minutes or 45 minutes and you're just sitting there. Okay, that's a problem too. So there's a lot of things that they need to work on, but the car itself is phenomenal. I don't know. So anyways, that's my thoughts on it. That is my thoughts on it. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, right? Paul says he's currently getting 346, wow, down and 31 up. That's in the Philippines. That's a version 3. God, that's some pretty good speed right there. That is some good speed. People don't realize this in the U.S., but everyone in Europe gets faster speeds than we do on SpaceX Starlink. If you realize it or not, it is the truth. What are you going to say? Fabiola, I see, is in the house. I see her saying Happy New Year to everyone. Say hello to Fabiola. I wish she was out here to read some of these, but she's not. Let's see. Kamikaze Miss Potato, same as me. AT&T was supposed to provide fiber in a little village, blah, blah. You know what? AT&T said that they were going to give us fiber 20 years ago. And we had fiber at the front of the community in the box, in the D-Slam. If you know what a D-Slam is, in the D-Slam box, we had fiber 20 years ago. They never put fiber in this community. We got fiber now, but it's through hot wire communication. AT&T still didn't do it. Even though AT&T has been getting subsidies from the government to put fiber in rural areas, they don't do it. They take the money like leeches, and then they actually don't do the work. That's why I have just a sour taste in my mouth when it comes to AT&T. They are just crap, absolute crap. My personal opinion, right? That's what this channel is about, just opinion. Let's see. Moving down because I have a lot of kicks going on. I appreciate that because I went on and on and on. Canada, $3.99. Nice. Like to see that. Shannon, I emailed you a photo with my current view if you want to share it. Awesome. We will definitely take a look at that. Let me see if we can get into there, Shannon. Let's see. I will get in there and see if we can get into it. Let's see. Shannon, let's see if we can get, there we go. And there it is. Let me bring it over to here and we go full screen with it. I love it. Here we go. So guys, that's what Shannon is currently seeing. He does the Baja deal and he sells the equipment and it's just cool. It's absolutely cool stuff. Absolutely cool stuff. Shannon, put your website in the chat window so people can go and see it. But yeah, that's what his screen looks like right now while he is selling stuff. I love it. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's see. Let's see. Moving down, Black Hawk says, "Love of the world though, like pregame online in some ways." Yes, that is right. Shannon, there's a lot of poop emojis. I love all the poop emojis. I love the kicks and regular poop emojis. Thank you, Peter, for those. Thank you. As I went on and on, I know Mo World says gravity propulsion systems are real. JCristina, we have it within the space program. Yeah, I would not doubt it. I would not doubt it. Elon Musk and Bob Lazar says are currently making a warp drive. That would be kind of cool. I mean, you never know. You just don't know, right? I think we're going to see some really big things this year. Rod says, I would love to be able to use Starlink for live corrections for survey. You could do that, actually, in the event that I do. So for survey, you could use Starlink for surveying if you're just sending the data away. But usually for surveying, you're using GPS, right? And GPS is highly accurate down to like a foot or two. Right? It's really accurate. Whereas with SpaceX Starlink, if you were to turn off GPS from your SpaceX Starlink, you would end up with worse service, and it will not know what it is doing as well, because the triangulation that's used using their satellites is within, let's call it 15 feet or so, 20 feet, in comparison to GPS that's down to like a pinpoint, right? So I think eventually, don't hold me, yeah, you can hold me to this. I think eventually, once we see 30, 40,000 SpaceX Starlink satellites in orbit, I think that their service will have better GPS capabilities than our GPS satellites in GEO, located at 36,000 kilometers. Because remember, these satellites are going to be down to 400 and 300 kilometers in this not so distant future. I talked to you guys about this last year. They got approval to move from 530 kilometers, those SpaceX Starlinks, down to like 400, even 300 area. Closer is better. So we'll see. That's going to actually increase speeds. It's going to lower latency also, which is cool. Happy New Year, everyone. I see Fabiola saying Happy New Year to everyone. Let's see. Blackhawk says, "Oh man, old cars made me enjoy this channel more." See that? Yeah, I love the old cars. You know, we back in the day we built Chevelle SS. We did a 396 swap in it, and then finally at 454, 396 Rat went to a 454 with that. We build, a lot of the American-made cars, and then I ended up starting to build some of the Jap crap, as I call them, the rice burners, because I wanted to see if I was able to produce the same amount of power. I went into BMWs. I did a BMW M3, supercharged that. And then I went into an Eagle Talon. If you know what an Eagle Talon is, it's all-wheel drive, badass. It's a 4-cylinder. And we ripped the engine out of it, did an entire block work on it, balanced, blueprinted, O-ringed, receiver groove, the whole nine yard. If you don't know what I'm talking about, bear with me for a second. We ended up pulling on this 4-cylinder at about 26 pounds of boost, PSI. We ended up pulling about 620 wheel horsepower to all 4 wheels on the dyno. Over 600 horsepower, 620, I think it was, 615, something like that, out of 4 cylinders. The problem that we were having with that car was the ARP, the stud bolts would literally stretch due to the amount of power, and we would pull the stud, and we'd blow the head gasket, right? We would pull the ARPs out. We'd pull out the bolts. You would look at the bolt, and you would see where it actually stretched the bolt, stretched the thread. So anyways, we went from that. I built a bunch of other different cars after the Talon, but I just don't do it anymore. There's only so much time and money. But yeah, I love cars. That's why, even though the Teslas are so much faster than the muscle cars of yesterday, it just doesn't have the same sound. It just, I don't know. I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same to me. So, I digress. Throw me a whole bunch of kicks. I know. I deserve it. I deserve it. Fabiola's talking to everyone. Let me see. Dutch Linux says, Kit, I'm good already. Drive him. Yes, Kit was around back in the day, right? It was able to do it. Why not? Chinese imported EV cars in Australia, now for much cheaper prices. Of course, that's what's going to end up happening. Including bananas. We love the bananas. Lots of bananas, people. Bananas, bananas. Let's move up here because I know I missed some. Put a Q before your question or at JCristina. Q before your question or at JCristina. I'm at about 2 hours, so I'm going to hang out with you guys probably another 5-10 minutes. And then I'm going to head out. I appreciate all of you guys just hanging out and just talking and listening to my banter here, just on and on and on, as I do on Friday. So let's see. AT&T money went into building a nuclear bomb tower. Excuse me. That is classified. Mo World, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. AT&T, I don't know. I used to work in the old IBM building in Boca, and I had a server there, a rack, and I used to work on the rack right next to Bell Atlantic's rack, and I used to hear all of the inside scoop all the time of what they do, and that's why when I say things that I say about AT&T, this shit is real. It is true. All right. I'm not making it up. It's not like just, pie. I'm just not. This is like literally insider stuff. And when I see it, that's why I just can't stand these people, because they have been receiving millions, probably billions at this point, hundreds of millions of dollars from the government every single year for like 2 decades to provide fiber to, as they call it, bridge the digital divide. Bridge the digital divide. And they never did it. They would only give fiber to like little small areas here, there, and elsewhere. And they'd be like, oh yeah, look, we did this. We put fiber in this RV place. Or they wouldn't do it, right? The first person to actually do it and provide high speed to people in rural areas was Elon Musk and SpaceX Starlink. And guess what? When he tried getting the subsidy of, $975 million, which he should have got because he actually did a damn thing, guess what? They denied it. Do you remember, guys? I talked about you that, like, what was it, a year and a half ago, whatever? They denied him, right? But he actually did it. These people like AT&T and all the rest of these telcos, they did shit. They just constantly got money from the government. They took it, they hoarded it, and then they did little things, the least that they can possibly do just to show that they did something, and that is it. Nothing else. So even here, when AT&T wanted to finally put fiber here because they saw there was other people bidding on our community, AT&T said, yeah, we'll give you fiber, but we're not going to bury it 2 feet under the ground in conduit like these other people. We're going to hang the fiber on your 50, 60-year-old wooden poles. Are you serious? You can't even make this shit up, but that's the kind of shit that they do because they hoard it. They take it in, they don't give it back, and that's why I just have this contempt for them, and I will always have that. Anyways, so there you go. Kick me. I want to see some virtual kicks. I need some virtual kicks because I know I went down the rabbit's hole here. It gets me crazy with this whole AT&T stuff because they literally screwed us for so many years. It's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I remember one year I was on the phone with the president of AT&T down in Miami, his secretary, all right? Never got through to him, but all of a sudden we ended up with 6 AT&T trucks hanging line at my house because I lost my shit. I told him it was pretty bad, but the guys that came and started hanging line and fixing stuff, they were like, "How did you get us here? We were pulled off a job off of Lake Worth. We were pulled off a job over." I'm like, "Trust me, I got you there because I talked to the freaking president, the president's secretary." And it ended up getting, it was pretty bad. But yeah, they're just horrible. Absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. Let's see. Moving on. Phil says, my street's supposed to have fiber in August. Well, fingers crossed. I hope that does happen for you. Lonnie says Spectrum is the same, Jay. The government paid them to run fiber to us, but instead they ran the standard cable and don't understand why they didn't switch them to it. Yeah, why can they not hold them to it? They were given money, Lonnie, right? They were given money, your Spectrum company, to run the fiber, and they don't. They run solid copper. Why? And they're allowed to do it. It's just crazy, absolutely crazy. We got 5 minutes here. Fabiola just said she's kicking me. She's kicking me. I said 5 minutes. I'm going to do it. 5 minutes. Go and take a look at Shannon's website. Matter of fact, I'm bringing it up over here. Take a look at this. Take a look, guys. Let me see. Will that show up? I think it will. Let me put it over here. Does that work? Let me see. Over here? Yes. Did that work? It did. This is Shannon's website. So you can go and take a look at this. You can subscribe. You can put your email address over here and subscribe. And this is all of the things that he sells. You can go by shop by product, and you can have everything over here. It's GoPro, GPS, headsets, helmets, all the rest of the stuff, all for Baja Racing. Very cool stuff. Definitely hit him up. Once again, say thank you for all that he does over there, Shannon. Thank you, Peter, for everything you do, and everyone else. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Mo World says 4 minutes and counting here. That was probably 5 minutes ago. We got all of the kicks. I appreciate all those kicks. Let me just head down quickly. Ricky Joe says, I don't get that. Either they got a ditch witch. That makes it easy. Yes. If you have a ditch witch, to dig a 24-inch trench for putting conduit in is really not a big deal. But here in this community, they ended up putting in fiber in conduit 24 inches in the ground by hand. And everyone in the community is 5 acres. That is a lot. That is miles of 24-inch thin by hand digging that was done. It took months, but they did it by hand. No ditch witch. No worrying about cutting anything. That's what they did. So yeah, that's the difference between a company that really gives a shit and AT&T, or like someone said, Spectrum, and the rest of them. Richard says, how to get Starlink support to get back to me. So that's a good question. If you're having a problem getting through to Starlink support, put in a contact to them, put in your initial ticket, right? Because Starlink runs on tickets. I wish they didn't, but they do. Put in your initial ticket, and then add to your, this is like a little thing that you could do. Put in your initial ticket. The next day, or maybe 8 hours later, add to your ticket a little sentence or whatever. Oh, I forgot this. Then 8 hours later, add another little something. Oh, I forgot this. What that does is it kind of bumps you a little bit, right? That's what I've found over the last 2 years. Does it still work? I don't know. Probably still does. Add to that ticket. It kind of like bumps it a little bit. Kind of bumps it to a little bit. But what I have found is SpaceX Starlink has been doing really well at getting back to people. And if there's something that they know that there is an issue, they will actually call you. I've had people that have been called by them, and they've sent out brand new equipment. So they're getting better. Are they 100% yet? No, they're not. They need more facilities. They need more call centers. Absolutely. But we're kind of dealing with what we have to deal with. But anyways, try that. That does work. Or it used to work, I should say. Let's see. Moving on. We're getting to the end. Once again, we're getting to the end of that 5 minutes that I promised. 5 minutes. Let's see. Mo World says, Shannon, at Peter Gosling. Thank you, lads, for the bombs and the fun. Really appreciate you guys. It's awesome. Love that everyone is here hanging out on a Friday night. This is the first Friday night, the first JC Live, Free Speech Friday of 2025. Can't believe that. Just to say 2025. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing to me. Let's see. Peter says, thanks for tonight. Wasn't up too much as have a bad flu. Well, feel better. Flu sucks. It's got to be the worst, right? Just have that chicken soup, Jewish penicillin that just works out great. I should say German penicillin too, because they used to cook it a lot in Germany. But yeah, chicken soup does a good thing. I have to plug my teas. Stormy Weather. It's a tea that I have, which is fully organic, that I create myself. It's called Stormy Weather. It does really well when you're sick. Really well. Anyways, take a look at my tees over at JCristina.com. Let's see. Moving on, 5 more years till 2030. I can't even believe it. That's true, Mo World. 5 more years. Yes, stormy weather. Stormy weather. Yeah, like Stormy Daniels. But it's stormy weather. Remember the 2000 sitting in front of the computer, seeing what will happen? Yes, when it hit the 2000. I remember that. You remember the whole thing with the 2000 and the problem with the digit and all the rest of the stuff? And oh my God. Richard said, thanks, JC. Trying anything to get them to fix the antenna to the router sync. Yeah, if you're having an antenna to router sync, take a look at that cable. If you have access to another cable, try it. Try another cable. A lot of times I find that the cables are the problem. And I did do a video on repairing a cable. But chances are by the time you go and order the piece to repair your cable, you're going to get a new one from them anyway. So you can go and look it up on those 394 videos I've made on SpaceX Starlink so far. You can look up repairing Starlink cable or something like that. You'll find it in there. And I teach you how to do it, exactly how to do it, and the exact products that you need to buy so that you do it properly. Because SpaceX Starlink cable is grounded and there's other stuff that needs to be done right. So anyways, that's for a whole nother video before I start getting kicks because I'm going down like a rabbit's hole, as I always do. Let's see. All right, guys. So listen, I just want to say thank you to everyone. All right. Thank you for being here on this Friday night. Once again, the first Friday night, the first JC Live or Free Speech Friday for 2025. Appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you had a good time like I have. Hang in there for this week. There's going to be a lot coming with the next week. And also I'm going to be doing a lot more videos when it comes to testing out things. All right, testing out. We did the Pi, doing that. I'm probably going to do some other Pi stuff coming up soon. I might get into the 3D printing. Once again, send me over information about the 3D printing. I've been getting a lot of good data on it. So I'll probably end up forking over the big bucks for a good one instead of buying a cheaper one and then later on wishing that I bought the better one. So I'll probably do that, but we will see. And then also, if you have any ideas for little trinkets, little things that I can print that you guys might be interested in that I can send to you guys, let me know, because I think it'd be fun for 2025 to play with the 3D prints. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to each and every one of you. And I hope that you guys have a fantastic 2025 starting out here. And get better, right? No flus for any one of you. Thanks a lot, Peter. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, everyone, Mo World, everyone, for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Love you all. Take care, guys.